Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. McCollum staying with him. Spins, gets inside. Left-handed off the glass. Oh, what a sweet move.
Giddey, tough spot. Backdoor. What a pass. What a play. And J-Dub picks the pocket of Trae Young. He'll take it himself.
This is Dort. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up, and welcome to the Uncontested Podcast, coming to you live Sunday, September 10th. So we are 29 days away from the first OKC Thunder preseason game. We're brought to you by the Blue Wire Podcast Network, and I'm your host for the evening, Jacob Niffen. Got my guy Justin Peabody with me tonight.
Hello, everybody.
We've got Nick Crane.
I'm incredibly upset that FIBA is over because now it's the dog days of summer.
Yeah.
We got a month of nothing.
Nothing.
We'll get some training camp in there. We'll get some
In like
media
3
day.
weeks.
Yeah, I know. You got to make it 3 weeks of football, Nick.
It's looking good right now. I'm not going to say anything to jinx it, but football seems
How
promising.
about them Cowboys?
Yeah, not the OSU ones either. They suck bad. They're not good at all.
Our guy Tayler Peterson will be joining us shortly, possibly with his child and his mother. Not the mother of his child, just his mother. 3 generations of Petersons coming on the podcast soon.
We can only hope.
Each with a rotisserie chicken.
Now we're talking.
Hey,
Starting young.
I wonder, is Taylor's baby old enough to eat rotisserie chickens?
Sure. Not like Taylor did, but yes.
Justin, what's the going age for rotisserie chickens for children?
You
got 3 of them. You should know this. 3
6
children,
months,
not 3
9 months?
rotisseries. 9
You
months. Interesting.
You got to like break it into small pieces, but knock yourself out.
Yeah, just give them the whole leg.
No.
Go to work. You learn through experience. All right. Gentlemen, Nick mentioned it just a moment ago, but FIBA basketball is now over. The United States of America do not medal. I don't think they've medaled in FIBA for like
Twice
over a decade
in a row. Yeah.
Canada gets 3rd place. Serbia, without Poku, gets 2nd place. Also without Micic. Also without, Nikola Jokic.
I like how you led with Poku, though.
Hey, you got to go with the best guy from the country. The Germans take home gold, and Dennis Schroeder gets tournament MVP, which when you get gold, you should get tournament MVP. I think you could argue Shai was the better player during FIBA, but that's where I want to start. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took on the United States this morning at 3:30 a.m. local time here. I don't know about you guys. I did not watch it. Nick, did you?
I did.
You animal.
You are an animal. Good for you.
So,
It was fun.
Nick, did you stay up and watch it, or did you wake up to watch it?
I went to bed around 12:30 when Oklahoma State's football game ended. Slept for 3 hours. Watched the game. It wrapped around 6:30. Pumped out an article. Went to bed again at 7. Woke up at 9.
It's amazing.
It was
Nice.
fun.
So you didn't really
Like I
go to
said,
bed,
we
you just start the series of naps.
Yes, but knowing that we were about to have 3 weeks of nothing, I was like, let's do it. I'm going to regret not doing this in about 2 weeks.
Yes. Love it.
So, Nick, since you took one for the team and watched a basketball game at 3:30 a.m., shout out to all of our Aussie friends, all of our Kiwi friends, all of our friends who listen to the Uncontested, watch Thunder basketball overseas. Couldn't do it.
Tough.
Couldn't do it. Nick, why don't you lead us off? Just some thoughts on today's Team Canada performance with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort. And then maybe also just overall thoughts of specifically Shai throughout this FIBA run.
Yeah, loaded question. This game in particular, if you look at the box score, you might think Dylan Brooks was the guy just based on points. Shai was the best player on the floor the entire game, which is, while Team USA had several key players out, this is just another data point for us to say, like, Shai is real, one, and he can also lead a team. Like, I think that's been a knock on Shai. Like, this season, it was kind of defunct because he took him to the play-in, but it was always, yeah, Shai can average, this, that, and the other, but can he stay healthy? Can he actually lead a team to win? Does he impact winning? The answer is yeah. And my biggest takeaway, and like the coolest part about the entire event, is that national media, like across the board, is now saying SGA is a top 7-8 player in the entire world, which is like, a year ago doing our preseason bets pod, to hear that, raise your hand if you're going to take that bet.
Right. Exactly. I think the jump that he got from All NBA has just kind of continued this summer because of FIBA. I think to an even greater point, like you said, Nick, it's super cool to see people say it as like an undisputable fact at this point, right? Like, it used to be, some people were starting to give him that credit. Some people were starting to put him in that conversation, but it was like the majority weren't. And, or, you had certain analysts that were hesitant to, but now it feels like a foregone conclusion that, like, nope, he's on this level. This is who he is. Like, nobody batted an eye when he outplayed Luka when they played Slovenia, which is nuts. Like, that's a big deal.
It's crazy.
And the sit down of Mikal Bridges today,
Nasty.
Unbelievable. And like, everybody across NBA Twitter was just fawning over that play and being like, yep, that's what Shai does. And his reputation has really ascended to a whole nother plane. I
think, taking a step back, because the second part of Jacob's question was like Shai the whole tournament. Smallish sample size. He played 8 games in FIBA. He's led the league in drives the past 2 years, scores a lot of his points in the paint. We saw that mid-range game take a step forward. We've said it time and time again on this pod. Shai's a guy that when he gets time away from the game to develop, off seasons, time away before the bubble, he always adds to his game and takes another step forward. We forget, like, the dude's 25 years old. Like, we actually don't know what his ceiling is. Like, that's maybe point one. What is Shai's ceiling? I don't know at this point, because he continues to get better and better each time. He's not even touched his prime yet. That's the reality. The 3-point shot, I still don't buy completely. Like, I don't think he's going to come in and shoot 40% this season. But that mid-range game, like the sidestep, the step back, that's real. Like, we saw enough of that in FIBA. That is a huge part of his game. And he did it some last season, but it was very much emphasized on this stage.
Yeah, Nick, I believe it was you that was in our uncontested chat just amongst us, who, I forget which game it was, but you posted the highlights and you said some of this stuff is Kobe-esque.
Very much so.
It really is, especially like the mid-range game. We also have Tayler with us now. No baby, no mom, but Tayler.
No baby, no mom.
No
Just
baby mama either.
No baby, no mom, no baby mama. But we are here. Excited to talk basketball. Going to be real honest. Pretty impressed. Nick is here. His Dallas Cowboys are playing. He's got it on in the background, but he is here.
That's what happens when you're
your
NFL team wins, Tayler.
Yeah,
hey,
I told Jacob earlier.
I'm sorry, Justin. The reason I was late is I was counting all my Super Bowl rings, polishing them, getting them all clean.
All 2 of them. I'll show you 5. I told Jacob
from before you were born.
Hopefully it's a blowout so that I can actually podcast and not have to care about the game. It's now 33-0. So moving on from the Cowboys, Tayler,
fair enough.
Would love to hear, since you just joined, whether
Nick,
whether
little
it's
subtle shots,
whether it's from today's game or from FIBA big picture. Like, we're talking Shai specifically. What was your takeaway?
Can you all give me the 2 points that you all touched on? I know you mentioned the mid-range, Nick. What did you all mention before that, just so I don't get too redundant,
Yeah,
as I'm likely to do.
the mid-range game, the ascension to stardom, the national media giving attention, and actually impacting winning as a leader.
Well, that's perfect, because I think the thing that stood out to me the most, specifically from this last game, I mean, granted, when you have, what was it, 31 points, and I mean, Dylan Brooks was the leading scorer, but Shai was obviously the best player on the floor between Team USA and Team Canada. And I have some takes on Team USA as well, but I'm not sure, for the sake of the podcast, that this is the time to go down that rabbit hole. But for Shai, the thing that stood out to me the most tonight, and even today, and even throughout FIBA as a whole, is the playmaking. And again, like it's not like he had some games like Josh Giddey playmakes, and we think he has an incredible game, for example. And maybe he doesn't score as much as he typically does, like his season average. Maybe he scores below his season average, but he has like 12, 13, 14 assists and just was an incredible playmaker. We didn't see Shai sacrifice his scoring for sake of playmaking. Like he still had 31 points today, even though he wasn't the leading scorer for Team Canada, but made some incredible reads and created so much for the rest of his teammates. Dylan Brooks, number one. Dylan Brooks doesn't have 39 points. So Shai isn't doing what he's doing, being double team, triple team, making the right read every single time. And I'm not exaggerating when I say triple team. I know a couple of you guys listened into the broadcast, but the live broadcast where they're going in on Steve Kerr talking about like Shai, blitz Shai. I don't care. Make everybody else beat you. And Shai made the right read every single time and still was able to score and get to his spots and post, what was it, 31? I'm like only missing 2 or 3 shots. I mean, just incredible efficiency. The playmaking really stood out to me. And it wasn't just Dylan Brooks. We saw him find Lou Dort in the corner. Also, and something else we can touch on is Lou Dort. Team Canada Lou Dort is the Lou Dort I went for OKC moving forward.
You sure about
another
that?
Aside. Well, in terms of, I mean, I don't think it's going to.
In terms of role, not in terms of what he did offensively.
I don't think it's going to get much better from an efficiency standpoint. So yes, in terms of role. Anyways, playmaking for Shai, it just really stood out to me through this entire tournament, and also just the balance between his scoring and still being able to make at such a high level. Like it's hard not to be ecstatic when you see Shai play at such a high level and think about the guys he'll be surrounded with.
I want to tap in and kind of extrapolate from that point Tayler just made. Today, Shai 12 assists to 1 turnover. 12 to 1 assist to turnover ratio. Pretty damn good.
That'll do, pig.
The thing that sticks out to me with that, as Tayler kind of mentioned, is like being able to read the defense, accept the double team, and not force. No Kobe slander at all, Nick, because you made the Kobe comparison earlier. Kobe in FIBA or the Olympics or with the Lakers gets doubled and tries that turn over the opposite shoulder and pull up. Shai just like makes the right basketball play. And I'm not saying Kobe didn't. Don't extrapolate that, right? But then
I heard it here first.
Kobe hater.
I think of the types of guys Shai is going to be playing with in Oklahoma City. And if you blitz him on that pick and roll, that's a quick pass to Chet, who's slipping to the rim, who is more than adept enough to kick it to the opposite corner or dunk it or pivot out and make a play. If he gets doubled, Giddey is cutting or J-Dub is cutting. Like, it's just going to become so much more of a weapon that him not forcing, not thinking, I have to be the guy, I have to score the points, being willing to let the game come to him, being willing to make those plays. That's what you want in your leader. That's the type of player you want running your team. And with the talent that's going to be around him, and those guys are like-minded. You think of Josh and J-Dub, they play very similarly. Like this Thunder team, this Thunder team, I think is going to get a lot of easy baskets, which is really at the crux of it, is the point of running offense, right? To get the easiest shot possible. We're always very impressed when guys hit the really difficult shots. But you run your offense to find the easiest shot possible so you have a higher percentage chance to score. I think the Thunder are going to be really good at doing that this year.
Jacob, you mentioned the assists per turnover. One thing that I have here is just, and you guys maybe mentioned Shai's stats for FIBA as a whole, but 6.5 assists to 1.5 turnovers per game. That's a pretty exciting stat difference there. I think that's something will probably carry into next season for the Thunder.
Totally. And I think you've got to take FIBA with a grain of salt, but I think there's enough that we've seen from Shai that translates, right? Like if somebody all of a sudden is hitting a bunch of threes, you've got to put a big asterisk on that because the 3-point line is not the same, but like the playmaking, the mid-range, that stuff translates. The level of competition is different in the NBA, no matter what Noah Lyles says. It's going to be a different situation for Shai than he was getting in some of these FIBA games, especially in the early games. But I think the mid-range shooting is something that will absolutely complement this team throughout the NBA season. The playmaking is something that could really change. As much as Chet is obviously going to change like every facet of how this offense looks next year, Shai kind of taking another step in the playmaking side of things changes a lot for this team. I think having more options to play make with, including Chet, like I just mentioned, changes a lot. But I think if this stuff continues for Shai, it's going to make the Oklahoma City offense look much different than it was last year. And it was still pretty darn good last year.
Justin, let me ask you this. It doesn't just have to be Justin. All three of you can answer. I'm going to give you an over-under number for assists per game for next season for Shai plus Josh combined.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Got the number in my head.
Okay, so for this past season, Shai averaged 5.5, and Josh Giddey, I'm pulling it up right now, averaged
like
close
6'2"?
Assists 6'2". So 5'5" and 6'2", quick maths.
Was that actually it?
Yeah, 6'2".
Oh, wow. Okay.
I thought you knew that
sick.
when you said that, Nick. That's impressive.
No, that was a
You're
guesstimate.
sick. You're a sick man.
That's 11.5 assists a game between the two of them.
Okay.
If I put the over-under for next season at 13.5.
Over.
13 was my number, so I have to go under.
I love that.
I'm taking over.
I'm going under just because of the way this team's constructed. I think those assists are going to be so spread out. I think 12 to 13, and like Nick mentioned, is the right number there.
It's just an interesting thing to think about. I think both of those guys are going to take a step in their playmaking.
Yeah.
And going to be able to set up other guys, and they're going to have guys that can score the ball.
Right.
With Chet, with Mitchich. We know Kaysen can shoot it a little bit. What does Ousmane Dieng do? You get the return of the man, the myth, the legend, Alexei Pokusevsky.
That's
but
worth 5
actually,
assists
though,
alone.
I laugh, but actually, no. One last thing maybe on Shai that we haven't talked about, and that I think, Justin, the reason I started to talk, because I thought you were done, you mentioned something there, and I think it's one other thing to talk about. It seems like Shai took maybe another step in terms of self-creation, and that step back shot he went to both in the mid-range and from three. I mean, he was hitting it with consistency. I don't have stats pulled up in front of me.
He gets the shot off fast too.
That release is
much quicker.
That was extremely exciting for me to see. I'm not just talking about this because he broke Bridges' ankles today. Like, this is something I've noticed throughout the entirety of FIBA, kind of reaching its peak with that play where he made Bridges completely, fall out of his shoes.
Who was the team that they played where he broke the guy so bad he went down to one knee, like King of the North?
Yeah,
praising him.
Oh, I can't even remember.
Was that Latvia?
Germany or Latvia?
I think it was
one
Latvia.
of the two.
That was disgusting. Yeah, the step back has just been absurd.
And
absolutely absurd.
I think it was his trainer who posted something not too long ago. Actually, Nick, it was you. You interviewed him, and we're talking with him. Maybe talk a little bit about that. But he talked about like Shai's flexibility and how he incorporates that into his training and how that results in some of these things that we've seen in FIBA.
Yeah, he just talked about like, this is not the NFL where you want to get big and bulky because it actually could hinder your game in a negative way, but it's more about like flexibility, core strength, lower body strength. And he talked a lot about feet, which was interesting, like doing foot exercises because you're putting so much stress on your feet the way you move in basketball. Like you can't give training all the credit to what Shai can do, but it's very clear that the way he trains is a big part of why he takes a huge leap every single time that he gets time away from the game. Like it's incredible.
I need to reach back out to him.
That's awesome.
I kind of fell through earlier last season, but maybe we'll make that happen. Little teaser.
Yeah, be fun. Be fun.
Okay, let's move on from FIBA talk. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side, Nick has a game for us. I think it involves another spreadsheet. Nick and spreadsheets, peanut butter and jelly. We'll be back on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. And we are back. If you are not watching the YouTube version of this, I encourage you to sub to the YouTube channel, because anytime Nick takes over a segment of the show, there's always some important visual aspect to it, which is always a blast. But if you are listening to the podcast version, we will definitely talk you through it. Nick, the floor is yours.
All right. So for that reason, I actually kind of broke this in two parts. The first part will not be visual because I want the folks doing the audio version to have a great experience as well. Second part will be video, but we'll try to make it to where it makes sense without the visual for you guys. So I'm going to start out with some questions. I think we could have some discussion on, like, once you hear the answer, does it make sense? Do you agree? What should be different? But we're talking about NBA 2K24 ratings. I think the caveat we should start with is they're always kind of bad. So, like, let's not get upset or angry.
You don't tell me how to feel
with some of these things.
I can regulate my emotions. I'm a grown man.
Fair enough. That is true.
I'll be on Ronnie 2K's doorstep with my pitchfork and torch.
Let me tell you about how I feel about. Never mind.
Okay.
You're about to bring up Jeff Levy.
No, we'll move on from that one. So starting with NBA wide, then we'll get into Thunder stuff, and then we'll actually finish with a little Thunder segment. First question for you guys, and hopefully you didn't cheat and go look at all the Thunder or NBA rankings on 2K24.
I have not.
Good.
I am fully blind.
Okay, perfect. So the first question is
legally blonde.
Very simple. Of all of the players featured in NBA 2K24, where does Shai rank in terms of 2K rating?
Okay, I do actually think I saw a tweet about this.
Do you want us to give you the specific number, or like top 20, top 10, top 5?
The number.
9.
12.
I think he was like 7th or 8th. So I'll pick 8th.
He is 14th.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and log off here. I'm going to head to Ronnie 2K's doorstep.
I'll say at the end of this game, you guys will have the opportunity to not make adjustments per se, but tell us more about what you think. So I'm not going to tell you what his rating is, because there may be a question about that later. I'm going to give you, what is this? 8 guards. And I want you to tell me where Shai ranks among these 8. Okay. So we've got Steph, Luka, Booker, Lillard, Shai, Ja Morant, Donovan Mitchell, Kyrie Irving. How many of those guys do you think are rated higher than Shai? And I can tell you the names again.
Yeah, go through the names one more time, please.
Steph, Luka, Booker, Lillard, Shai, Ja, Donovan Mitchell, Kyrie Irving.
I mean, that almost feels in order. And the fact that you listed them like that, it makes me know it's. I'm going to bump Shai up 1. I think he's above Lillard behind the first 3.
Okay.
I think he's ahead of Kyrie.
Okay.
I think he's ahead of Donovan Mitchell. I think he's ahead of Ja.
Agreed.
Did you say ahead of Lillard, Tayler?
Yeah, I said ahead of Lillard behind the first 3.
I'll take that.
Mentioned.
So that would put him at
4
or 5.
Yeah, I think that would put him at 4.
Yeah, that, based on Taylor's, it would put him at 4. He is 5th.
Justin, was it the order that you gave us?
It is, and I did that on purpose because I knew Taylor would overthink it and say, you would never give it to us in order. It is in order.
Nick knows me too well. This isn't fair.
That is the order. So Shai
he knows me so well.
Shai is the number 5 guard in NBA 2K24.
So the ones ahead of him were Steph,
never mind.
Luka, Booker,
and Lillard.
and
And
Lillard.
So you can't give us for future segments here. You can't give us the numbers, but can you tell us how much higher Lillard was from Shai?
1 point.
That's what I was thinking.
What
Okay.
about Booker?
1 point.
Okay.
Oh, so they were
Good.
tied. Interesting.
Booker
I feel
and
good about that.
Lillard are tied 1 point above Shai.
Fair.
Okay. Moving on to some younger players. We've got there's a nice little there's a website where you can get all the rankings and look at different attributes. There's a list of 2022 NBA draft, 2021 NBA draft. You can like look by draft class how these guys are ranked.
Okay.
So for the 2022 NBA draft, I got 2-part question. We'll start with Dub, finish with Chet. Where is Dub amongst the 2022 draftees?
He's got to be number
Ooh.
2.
That's
If
a
he's
tough
not
question.
number 2, then 2K is.
If he wasn't 2, who would be above him?
Dude, I don't even know. If they put Walker Kessler above him, I'm going to cut my neck live on the podcast and let you guys watch me bleed out.
That second question is much harder because, like, logically, yeah, he's 2 just based off, the rookie vote. But NBA 2K is not always logical. So I would
Sure
say
isn't.
like 4, 3, maybe 3, 4.
I can't think of anybody that should from that 2022
know.
class.
I'll tell you who's 4,
See,
5, and 6.
Okay.
So
These
he's 3.
This feels like a cheat. I like it.
he could be 3.
Mhm.
We all know he's not number 1. The 3 guys at 4, 5, and 6 are all 2 points lower than Dub, and it's Ivy, Keegan, and Matherin. So it's none of those guys that could be above him if you think
Gosh.
he's 3, not 2.
Dang it. It might be Walker. I'm still going to go 2 and not
He's
overthink
2. There's
this.
no way. There's no way.
What if I told you it was Jabari Smith Jr.? Would you believe me?
No.
It's not him.
I was going to say that's not the same draft class.
Yeah,
it is.
Yes, it is.
Wait.
Good grief.
Trying to
TP,
think this
get your graphs
through.
together.
Trying to think this.
The answer is Dub is
3.
3rd
Yes.
behind Walker Kessler,
What
Oh
the
my
God?
who's 1
But
point higher.
why?
That I
Because
don't have
2K
the
is
answer.
racist.
Oh my God.
I was going to say because only
I'm
one of
willing.
them made Team USA, but Taylor's going to go a different route.
That
should have
is-
made Team USA, in my opinion.
That is dumb.
I hate the Walker Kessler.
what's the
I do.
difference?
I
1
hate it
point?
so much.
1 point.
That's stupid.
I agree.
That
Okay,
is
so,
really, really
stupid.
stupid.
What-
okay. If you want to
What-
get, go ahead.
What's the gap between Paolo and Walker?
1.
Get out of here.
So Paulo and
Get
Dub
outta
are
here.
s- are
Okay,
two
let me
difference.
ask you the next piece of this. Where is Chet? And I'll give you a hint. Chet is
It's not good. I've seen
Chet
this,
is
so I'm going to sit
6
this
points lower than Walker Kessler.
out. I will sit this one out.
I can get the Chet one because he hasn't played in an NBA
Totally.
minute yet. So
Right.
that makes sense.
But it's still lower than you think. I'll give you that hint.
15.
I'm going to say 21.
Wow. He's 12.
Well, okay. I just dyslexic. That's all.
He's actually tied with Mark Williams.
And it was like, yeah, it was 75. Is that
Didn't
right?
I say I
Nick?
was going to cut my neck if Walker Kessler was higher? I need to go grab a knife real quick. BRB.
Jeez. Well, speaking of things you're gonna hate, we're gonna move on to our next question, and we're gonna do a little segment. We're gonna rank a trio of 3 players in order of their 2K ranking. Okay. The first group you're working with is none other than Rudy Gobert, Josh Giddey, and Franz Wagner.
Yikes.
3 foreigners.
That's your
Grief.
That's your first.
First thought.
Yeah.
I think
3
none of them
international
are from the
players.
US of A.
Sacre bleu. I'm going to guess their ranking. I'm not going to rank them. I'm going to guess their ranking goes Gobert, Wagner, Giddey.
And that's the exercise is order, not ranking. So you
And I would rank them the opposite personally.
Yeah.
I
if
agree
I'm
with
ranking,
that.
if I'm ranking them, Josh and Wagner are either tied or like within 1 point, and then Rudy is third. I think 2K will probably have Rudy first.
Yep.
You said Wagner, then Josh. I'll flip flop
did.
them, but I'm going to say they're within like a point.
So you had so your order is Gobert, and then who, Jacob? Who's your number two?
I'm Gobert, Josh, Franz,
Okay, and you said 1 point between Franz and
Giddey.
Giddey. Okay, Taylor, what
I
about
mean,
you?
we're all on the same page here. I think
Well, you're not, because
Gobert-
Justin said the opposite.
Well, but within 1 point, and Jacob said he wanted to be different, but kind of agreed. I agree with Justin. I think it's going to be Gobert, and then Franz, and then Giddey. But to Jacob's point, Franz and Giddey are only separated by a point.
So Jacob is dead on. It is
Interesting.
Gobert, Giddey, Franz, and Giddey's 1 point higher than Franz.
Wow.
Okay.
How much more is Gobert over Giddey?
1.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
So not too bad. All right, the next trio.
What do
we
they have? Did you say they have like, you could sort it by ranking of like different statistics like defense and
Yeah.
shooting? And
Yeah.
I wonder what Gobert's defense outside of 3 feet looks like, or anything on offense looks like.
Well, instead of watching Poku highlights tonight, you can go look at this database.
Or his
There you go.
like chemistry stat, like teammate
Jeez.
likability.
Or his hands touched microphones per
Oh my,
post
okay.
podcast or post.
And we're off to the next 3,
His virality.
which is Jeremy Grant, OG, and Dub.
Oh, this is an interesting one,
Buddy.
I'll lead us off this one. You said Jeremy Grant, OG, Dub. I'm going to flip those first two. I'm going to say OG is first, and then Jeremy Grant, and then Dub, because apparently Dub is worse than Walker freaking Kessler.
Right. I'm going with the order that Nick gave us the list.
Same.
I think they will give the nod there. OG second, and then Dub third.
So you guys are
Agreed.
both going Grant, OG, Dub, and I'm just flipping OG and Grant.
They love the contract numbers, the big money.
The answer is Jeremy Grant's last,
What?
Wow.
and Dub and OG are tied.
Shocks me.
Wow.
I have more respect
Okay.
for 2K now.
So
I
just,
still
just
don't.
like conceptually, like if 2K was actually like the real way players were valued and viewed by NBA teams, like OG Anunoby is a guy that teams love and rave about, and Dub is already the same rating as him. Pretty crazy.
How much
That is
lower
crazy.
is Grant than them? two?
Yeah,
Just
that's
one point.
surprising.
Just 1 point?
That's
Yep.
wild.
Okay. Interesting.
I love it. I'm very surprised.
All right. Moving on to some bigs. All right. We've got Kelly Olynyk, Canada's own,
God.
who can't move his feet and guard anybody. We've got Marvin Bagley, and
Ugh.
we've got Chet Holmgren.
Oh, God. You're just trying to piss me off, Nick.
That feels like a setup.
Okay, I'm gonna come out swinging here and say they're all tied.
Taylor trying to
Okay.
play the mind games with Nick. It's not a bad guess, TP. I'm gonna say Ayton.
Ayton.
Bagley. It's Bagley, not Ayton.
Bagley. Wow. Sorry. I just had a stroke.
I'm going to go Ayton, Mo Bamba, then
Worthy and Shaq. Bagley. I want to put Bagley inexplicably first, followed by Chet, then Kelly. Because if Kelly's ahead of Chet, then I'm going to join Taylor on his raid of Ronnie 2K's house.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go Bagley last. It's going to go Chet, Olynyk, Bagley.
And the answer is Kelly and Marvin are tied,
Ooh.
and Chet's one below.
Oh, I was so close.
1 point
Dude.
below.
Okay.
Just to get the point of that question was to conceptualize like
Yeah.
how low Chet's ranking is in 2K, which we'll get into a bigger picture item.
Yeah.
And that will skyrocket after the
So-
first week.
A segment.
How
As it always
do you guys
does.
know how frequently they update 2K ratings?
I think
It's
like
pretty
a lot,
frequent.
very regularly, like weekly.
That's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
was thinking.
Okay.
That's why I said the weekly.
By Halloween, Chet's jumping like 3 or 4 points.
Agreed.
Chet will be in the
And
80s.
And they change it like a lot. Like it's not like a point. Like they'll go
Plus
4
3, plus
points
4.
here and there. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It's a big shift.
When do the Thunder play the Timberwolves? Do you guys remember off the top of your head?
Don't remember
have
the
that one in the bank.
Timberwolves.
It's definitely
Come on,
like
Nick.
the first month of the season. Whenever Chet puts like 30 on Gobert and beats his shot 5 times in one game,
Oh my God.
they're gonna bump Chet up like 6 points in this game.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's crank through these next few. Rank these 3 guys: Mitchich, Pat Bev, and Ben Simmons.
Oh my gosh.
D, none of the above.
Pat
Mitchell,
Bev, Ben
Pat
Simmons,
Bev.
Mitchell.
Oh no, Ben Simmons is at the bottom. You got to play to get
I don't think
ranked.
so. No. Well, exactly. That's why Mitchich is going to be at the bottom. He hadn't played an NBA
Right.
second.
I was going to put Pat Bev 1 as well. Collective effort here.
Yeah, I'll go Pat Bev, Mitchich, Ben Simmons.
Okay.
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good with that.
This one is a contradictory one because Mitchich is technically not in the game, but the site that has
Thunder
the
eraser.
stats, the site that has the stats is actually like really plugged in and usually has rankings before the players actually added. So big asterisk on this one. Mitchich,
This is a pretty reliable site.
Mitchich
for
is
what it's
number
worth.
1 of those 3 guys.
Good.
Oh my
He's a
gosh.
point above Pat Bev and Ben Simmons, who are tied with the same rating right below him.
God,
Huh.
what Pat
So this-
Bev slander from 2K? Hey, Pat Bev, you're just as good as the guy that hasn't played in 2 years.
Or the guy that's never touched an NBA floor.
Right.
Yeah.
That's 30 and has braces.
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Okay, moving on to some attribute ones. We got 2 attribute ones, and we'll go Thunder centric and pull up the spreadsheet. Rank these 3 NBA players by their 3-point rating in 2K. Okay, Pat Williams, Gary Harris, Isaiah Joe.
3-point rating. Pat Williams, Gary Harris, Isaiah Joe.
Those are the names.
Pat Williams got to go at the bottom, right?
That's what I was thinking.
That means he's at
And
the top.
which means I would just based off the question, I put Gary Harris first, Joe second.
Pat Williams third.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. We can go with that. Justin, what do you think?
This
I'm
is
saying-
in 2K. Oh gosh.
What do you mean
they're
in
gonna
2K?
put
the whole game, Taylor.
No, we're talking NBA Jam.
I hate this game. They're gonna have Patrick Williams first.
NBA Street Volume 2.
Patrick Williams like a 99 3-point shooting.
I'm gonna say the order you said it, Nick. Pat Williams, Gary Harris, Isaiah Joe.
You're correct. Isaiah Joe is the 55th ranked 3-point shooter in NBA 2K24.
Yikes. Well, no wonder he didn't make the 3-point contest.
Like, I get it. I get it if he's like not a highly ranked player, but when it's like the attribute 3-point shooting is 50.
Right.
Right.
Did you do your
what's
homework?
the difference?
No,
You know?
they didn't.
What's the difference between the 3?
I can actually give you these numbers. So Isaiah Joe's an 84 on 3-point shooting. Pat Williams 85, Gary Harris 86.
I can tell you one thing. I know 2K does put a lot of ads and stuff in their game. Certainly not going to be any anti-drug campaigns going on because apparently they use them avidly.
Okay.
There's also
On to
some
the next.
favors for players and
There could be.
agents,
There
but-
could be. The next one before we go into Thunder centric is the attribute perimeter defense. And the 3 names are Lou Dort, Dylan Brooks, Herb Jones.
They're going to put Lou last.
Accurate. Doesn't matter the order. I love it. Top 3. That's all that matters.
I didn't say they were the top 3.
Taylor is trouble following directions.
100%.
Yeah,
I'm going to say they're going to go Dylan Brooks, Herb Jones, Lou Dort will be the order.
Agreed. I could see Dort being second in this. I could see Herb being third.
That's accurate. Dylan Brooks is number 1. Lou Dort number 2. Herb Jones number 3. Dylan Brooks is a 91, which is the 4th best rating. Lou Dort is 90, which is the 10th best rating. Herb Jones is 88, which is like in the teens.
Those are pretty high, though. So
did you say Dylan Brooks is the 4th best defender?
Perimeter defender.
Do you have the list pulled? That's what I was about to ask.
I don't have it pulled up. It was like
Kawhi, PG.
Kawhi was up there. The number 1 was Drew Holiday. Marcus Smart was up there.
I was about to say, I bet it's Drew Holiday, Marcus Smart, Kawhi.
It was those guys were all definitely.
And the next 3. Huh, that's a fun one.
Yeah, it was good. Let's do a quick Thunder-centric question that I can't give you the answer to till a later segment. But I just want to hear to kick things off. There are 6 players. Actually, maybe I can't give you the answer. It'll make the next game more fun. There's 6 players on the Thunder roster ranked 77 or better. Who are they?
6 players ranked 77 or better.
Overall rating.
Shai.
Correct.
We'll go down the list. So I went Shai. Taylor goes Dub. Now it's Justin's turn.
Lou Dort.
Josh Giddey.
Oh, dang it. Because it's not Chet. And also makes this next one so tough.
Yeah. The next 2.
We're only at 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got 3 more to go. Did you say there's 7 guys?
6.
6.
6. Okay, 2 more.
Oh boy. I'm trying to think through. Okay.
All right, I'm skipping Taylor.
You go. Yeah,
Jay
if you got
Will?
one, go for it.
Jay Will
See,
throwing a shot.
I don't
Will's
love
not.
Kenrich Williams.
Yeah.
I'll
Kenrich
give you
was-
one. I'll give you one because Taylor is screwing y'all. Chet is one of them.
He is.
Chet is, and Taylor
I
proclaimed
thought
he's
he was
not.
like 75.
Jet's not
No.
one of them.
Chet is 77 on the dot.
Okay. What's
The
Kenrich
other
Williams
one-
the other?
He's not. And the other one I'll give it to you
Joe?
as well. It's Mitchich, which is like the asterisk
Oh,
one. 'cause it's like
okay.
the
Yeah.
database has it, but the game doesn't have him yet. So those are the 6.
77 feels high for me.
Yeah,
I
that makes
agree.
sense because we got to those last 2 and I was like,
It's not Usman.
So I want you
Casey
guys.
Wallace.
I want you guys to pay attention. Maybe take notes on these next couple because they will help you on the next exercise. First one is Giddey or Dub. Who's higher?
Dub.
Giddey.
It is Giddey by 1 point. Take the note. Another one that's an asterisk: Dort or Mitchich.
Dort.
Mitchich.
Dort. Taylor,
I'm
This is
really
the
bad at
best.
this.
you are on a roll, Taylor. Okay. The next one, I actually cannot give you the answer to this one because it'll give away the next exercise. But just to get the
But you're
brain
going to
juice
ask
going.
anyway?
Yes. Rank
Okay.
these 4 players in order: Kenrich Williams, Aaron Wiggins, Cason Wallace, JRE.
Kenrich one or Kaysen? I don't know.
I think
torn
I'm
there.
going Kenrich.
Kenrich, Wiggins, Kaysen, JRE.
Agreed.
Okay. If you guys agree, take that mental note because you'll be answering that for the entire roster here in about 3 minutes. Rank these 3 players based on 3-point attribute: J. Will, Poku, and Lindy.
Are you giving us the answer this time?
Yeah.
Yep.
J. Will, Poku, Lindy. It's that order.
I think I agree.
Lindy only shot like 34%
I mean, I don't
last year.
I don't
And
feel
it's
strongly
2-way, like
one way or the
2K
other.
is not going to give a 2K a 2-way player that high of a rating.
Right.
But it's 3-point shooting. It's not overall attribute.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but still.
I could see Poku maybe getting the nod over J Will, but I agree with the Lindy being last.
Is the order J Will, Poku, and Lindy are the best 3-point shooters of that group in that order.
Yeah.
All right. Let us move to Excel.
Hey, before we do this Thunder activity,
Oh
even
my
though the
gosh.
YouTubers are getting the picture here, let's take our next break of the night. That way we can come back and do this. We'll be right back. And we are back. Hopefully you have joined us on YouTube at this point so you can see Nick's beautiful spreadsheet. Nick, take it away.
I don't know why Chet's number 18 in this. You can blame somebody else.
I was going to ask.
I don't know why. So this is going to be a 2-part exercise. The first part, I'm not asking you to choose and I'm going to zoom in a little bit because it's been requested in the chat. I'm not going to ask you to give me their ranking, their 2K ranking. I want you to give me an order, like shocker, Shai is 1, who is 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down to number 20. Okay. This is an Excel spreadsheet. Row 1 is the header. So there's only 20 players. So we're going to get 1 to 20. Okay. So who do you guys have number 1? Based on 2K rating, who is the best Thunder player?
Well, I've taken a lot of L's, so I'm going to go ahead and just take this easy lob and say Shai number 1.
Wow, way to go out on a limb.
Got one.
Nice. Who's 2?
Josh 2. We know Josh is higher than Dub.
Right.
So we'll go Josh 2, Dub
Agreed.
3.
Correct.
Josh 2,
And Dub 3.
Dub 3. Okay. Who's 4?
Dort?
Dort.
I
Okay.
think Dort.
I do too. Based
Go
off
Dort 4.
popularity.
Then Giddey.
Giddey.
Oh, wow. Giddey's
He's got
2.
Giddey.
Just kidding. Taylered on that one.
You did?
Is it Mičić?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I think you're right.
What did we say? Was Mičić
77? And
Along
I
with
believe
Chet?
that was tied for Chet.
So is there anybody above a 77?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Really?
So where are you guys going?
I feel like 77 is low.
But we
Who's
talked.
5?
There was a question earlier that was like, what 6 players are above 77?
The questions
Right.
were intended to help you here, guys.
Yeah.
Right.
Who are the
Mičić.
6 players?
So
Mičić and Chet.
are
That's the 6.
tied at 77.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, yeah, then that's what we'll do. Mičić is next at 5, and then Chet at 6.
Yep.
So let's go Mičić 5, Chet 6. All right, who's 7?
Oh my God.
Ugh.
Is it Poku?
Wow.
Yeah.
So the
Or
way I like to
Kenrich?
think about this is
Or
like
do we
if
already have Kenrich?
if I was
I can't
a fan of the NBA and never watched the Thunder, or just like don't really watch the NBA and buy 2K, I would look at 2K and be like, who are the Thunder's best players in order? And like this would be like gospel to me.
Uh-huh.
So who is the 7th best player in the Thunder based on 2K?
Gross.
Maybe
Um,
Kenrich?
I was thinking Kenrich as well, but
I think
who was
it's
the other
either-
one you said, Jacob?
I think the next 3 are going to be Kenrich, J. Will,
Yeah.
Poku,
Yep.
but it doesn't have to be that order.
I'll go that
So let's go
order.
7
kind
for
of-
Kenrich. Let's go 8 for Poku. Let's go 9 for J. Will.
Yeah, I like that.
Goku, 9 for J. Will. Who is the 10th best player? We're talking about guys that probably don't crack the regular playoff rotation now.
Oh, we're forgetting about Bertans.
I was gonna say, Bertans
Depot.
and Oladipo are interesting
That
considerations.
is tough because it's 2K and
So let's.
they're healthy in 2K. I mean,
I almost say those
Kind
last
of.
3 we just did. Let's bump them down a number and put Oladipo at what would that be?
7.
7. Oladipo is 7.
So
And
I'm
then
gonna bump all these
Bertans
guys
at 8.
to hold on. So I'm gonna go 10 and 11. So do you want
I might do Bertans over Depot.
Bertans 7
That's
or
fair.
Depot 7? Bertans
I'm good with
7?
either of those
I'd go Depot 7, Bertans 8.
Someone's
because
got
we're
to
talking
choose.
2K.
Someone's
and,
got
like,
to choose.
Depot's
Fine. Depot's
Golden
Depot
child,
7,
2K.
Bertans 8.
Okay. All right, we are all the way down to 12 now.
Kenrich was 9, Poku
Ooh.
10, J Will
So
11.
how do we feel about Case and Wallace at 11?
Over J Will?
12. Or 11.
Oh, we don't have J Will.
No,
with
we
the
J
number
Will,
yet?
J Will's 11.
Okay, sorry. So then Case and Wallace
Case and at
next
12.
is what I meant.
Okay.
Taylor, are you looking at the spreadsheet?
Yeah,
Okay, just making sure.
I didn't see an 11.
Who
I'm
is
just
number 13?
Listening to
Did we put 12? Kaysen at 12?
Yeah.
Is
Isaiah
Kaysen
Joe?
over? Where does
Ooh,
James
that's a
fit
good
in?
point.
I think Jang's very
Really good
low
point.
on 2K.
Me too.
What about Wiggins?
I think Wiggins
Also
is
low on
probably
2K.
Trey Mann could be one that's slightly higher on 2K.
So we just did 12 for Kaysen.
Who's your 13?
Let's go
I kind of like
13.
Trey Mann. I like Trey Mann there, Justin, at 13. What do you,
Yeah.
Jacob? What do you
I'll take
think?
it.
Trey Mann at 13.
He's probably
Because we're
higher.
talking
I feel
2K.
like he could be higher.
Lots of disclaimers.
Joe at 14.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
good with
Wiggs.
that.
Wiggins
Wiggs at
15.
Okay.
JRE.
Oh, no, Jang before JRE.
Jang at 16.
I'm also.
Do you
good with
disagree,
that.
Justin?
Just because of like minutes played in the NBA. Yes. I disagree.
Okay, but you can put JRE.
Okay, at 16.
I mean, we can cheat
Jang
and
is
put
17.
Jack White at last.
We'll put him at 20. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
You got
We
Lindy
have-
and Sar for 18, 19.
Lindy,
Sar-
and
Lindy is
Sar.
ahead of SAR.
Yep.
So I will
That was
now
tough.
reveal. I'm going to put them in your order, guest ranking. I'm going to reveal both their actual rating and their real rank. Okay.
I'm so nervous. This is gonna be I think we ruined everything in the middle.
So do
I. Boom.
Whoa, just all at once, ripping the
Ooh.
band-aid.
Yep.
I thought you can go one at a time.
Not
Oh
bad.
Lord.
All right, so Nick, you walk us through since this is your segment for the,
Yep.
the listeners,
So you guys got 1, 2, 3, and 4 correct.
Boom.
which was
and
Shea,
5 and 6.
Josh,
Giddey.
Dub, and Dort.
Dub and Dort.
5 and 6 is a tie.
5 and
That
no,
should
5 and 6 is
count.
also accurate because they're both at 77. So Mitchich and
Okay.
Holmgren,
Boom.
5 and 6. You guys guessed Oladipo and Bertans at 7, 8. They're actually 10 and 18.
18 for Bertans.
Wow.
Is
Bertans is only at
surprises me
72.
For 2K.
what?
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
That's crazy.
Not good.
Okay.
not good. Kenrich, he's actually an 8. You guys had him at 9. He's bumped down because of the guys you thought would be higher, Bertans and Oladipo. So you guys, I think, accurately assessed him. I think same for Poku. He was like 7 or 8, and then you bumped him 2 because of Oladipo and Bertans. J Will 11.
So just to clarify real quick,
Yep.
Poku's actual 7th on the real
Well,
ranking.
7/8. Him and Kenrich are both 76s.
Yeah, we had him at 10, but he's 7, 8. Okay.
Yep. J Will's 11 at 75. You guys were dead on. Kaysen, you were way off. He's the 17th best player on this team based on 2K ratings at a 72.
Wow. They hate
Makes sense.
rookies.
They hate rookies.
But I will say, I believe this is based on memory. When you looked at the 2023 draft class, he was either 10th or 12th.
Yeah.
So like
So it lines up.
Rookies are always
Right.
terrible.
it line
Right.
well, but it lines up where he was drafted.
Yep.
So
Yep.
And they'll bump all the rookies. That makes sense.
yeah. Trey Mann's a 75, which is, I mean, I
Not
think in real
awful.
life I would have Kaysen over Trey Mann just based on pedigree, but
We were
again,
pretty close on that ranking. Trey's 12th, and we guessed 13th.
Yep.
Yep.
So that was pretty good.
Isaiah Joe, you guys were off on. He's 76 overall.
That's
He's the ninth
surprising.
best player on this team.
Sharpshooter.
Yeah.
After they
Love
ripped him off on his shooting number,
Yeah.
I thought everything else would be low, and he'd get ranked lower.
That's
Yeah.
a good point.
These next two, I think, will make a lot of people angry. JRE, 1 point higher than Wiggins.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense to me.
Yep.
That's what I said would happen, and I was overruled.
Yep.
Wiggins' actual is 14. We guessed 15, so that's pretty good.
Yep.
Robinson Earl's actual is 13. We guessed 16.
Yep. Usman Jang is only a 74. Justin was correct. He is very poorly rated. You guys guessed 17. He's actually 15, so not as bad as you thought, but still not good. And then from there, Lindy, Olivier Sarr, Jack White. Lindy's actually higher than Kaysen.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Bertans.
So
And
then
Bertans.
We had
here's real
Sarr
rank.
and Jack White correct.
So this is the real ranking now. So you can see Lindy is higher than Kaysen and Bertans.
Interesting.
Crazy. So other than us overthinking Oladipo and Bertans, I feel like we actually did pretty good on this
Decent.
exercise.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Pretty decent. Pretty decent.
That Bertans one is very surprising to me.
It's very strange. To wrap the segment, because we're at 55 minutes, so we're coming to a close here. I want you guys to take out your crystal ball. Think about how much is going to change this upcoming season, who's going to be way better, who's going to be way worse. And I want you to take in consideration their current ranking. And for each of these guys, I want you to predict once the season comes to an end. I'm not talking like 2K25. I'm talking like when the season ends, because they adjust the season goes on.
25.
What are each of these players' rankings? Not like their rating 1 through 20, but their actual like 93, 83. What are these guys going to be? So what's Shai going to be? 93 now. What's he going to be?
1.
What's the high?
Taylor, I
0.
just explained the exercise is not to choose 1 through 20. It's to give the rating.
99. 99 and a half.
1.
I wasn't listening.
Silva played that. I was
One
told
out
there
of
would be no
100.
math sounder.
Jack White is actually 66 points better than SGA. What's that?
I like making things difficult.
Is Jokic the highest ranked guy in the game?
Let me see.
There's like a 99.
Is somebody a 99 or a 98?
Yeah.
I think so. Steph's the highest guard at 96, but I forget who was the highest player. It's got to be Jokic, I think.
I'm going to go Shai 94.
Okay.
I agree. That's what I was going to say.
I'm going to say 95.
Josh Giddey's currently an 83. I guess he's like an
86?
86.
Boom.
I was going to say 85.
Let's go.
Hater.
85.
We're going with Justin. He got
I'll have
out.
this. Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell
Hey,
is this?
I paid Nick under the table.
J-Dub. Let's hear it.
86.
99.
Yes.
So J-Dub is the second best player in 2K by the end of the season, huh?
Well, hold your
Hunter,
horses,
Hunter.
buddy.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay. Is it Lou Dort you're talking about?
Lou Dort's a 78.
Yeah, he's a
69.
78 now.
Whoa, hey.
So he's worse than he's the same as Olivier Sarr, pretty much.
I'm going to
Pretty
take Lou
indifferent
from
on Lou.
78 to 77.
Yeah.
Works for
agree.
me.
I agree. Chet is a 77. I want to talk about this one.
87.
For reference, Walker Kessler is an 83.
Yeah. See, I was thinking more like
Paulo's an 84.
87.
99.
87.
Surprised Taylor's not going one again.
87. I'm thinking like 80. Yeah.
83.
83.
I say 84. That's kind of a mid range.
87.
84 sounds good to me.
When Chet wins Rookie of the Year
Bunch of
above
wimps.
Wemby.
Wemby's an 84 to start the game.
That's so
Like I said,
ridiculous.
87. Write it
Bullshit.
down.
Mitchich, 77 currently.
74.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of like this. Yep. Like it going down.
74 might have been too harsh.
Not because he's like
75.
bad. I just think 77 seems very high for him entering the league.
Poku's a 76.
Mm-hmm.
73.
You think he's going to be worse?
You go
I
to
do think
hell.
I think he's
Go to
going
hell
to
and
be
die.
worse. Tell
Give
me
me
where Poku's getting
79
minutes on
for
this team.
Poku.
Oh my. 79.
You guys are sleeping. You're forgetting how good he was at the beginning of last season.
You think he's going to be healthy?
He's going to play.
We've got some good bets. for
20-ish
our
minutes a game
preseason
this
bet
season.
Podcast. In all 10 games he played.
I'm going to leave him flat at 76.
I think so too. 76 it is.
79.
Kenrich Williams is also a 76.
Sure.
Stays flat.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of these like French guys don't get adjusted a whole lot. So I think it's fair to say they
Isaiah
don't.
Joe's like honestly same thing. Maybe like 77, 78 if he hits a
Like,
lot
what
of threes.
could he do better?
Yeah,
was
I
gonna
think he
say,
stays flat.
Continue to be
I
consistent.
think he stays
like
flat or
right.
goes down.
like
Yeah,
the
I can
Thunder
see
are
him
better.
I would say 75.
I agree.
The Thunder
That's
are
fair.
better. He hits threes at the same clip, and therefore
They'll have
he gets bumped up because it's 2K.
Now, I don't
Yeah.
know how when a guy like doesn't play because of injury, does he just stay flat?
Yeah.
Not usually.
I don't even know. Yeah,
I thought, yeah.
Or do
Yeah?
they drop?
You would drop a guy. I mean, they already know he's
I think
injured
so.
making the game.
I think they usually drop it. It's been quite a minute since
I don't
played
think
2K
Victor
very
Oladipo
much.
plays a
I-
minute in
me too.
Oklahoma
I
City.
wonder if Oladipo can open up the game. It has like the medical sign. He's a 75, which is like a -4, and when he gets healthy, he's automatically a 79. Like
see,
that's
I
how
didn't
it-
even know there
how it
was
used
like
to work.
those signs in the game. That's how long it's been since I played 2K.
One. Let's just keep him. He didn't like a fair one to mess
Yeah,
with.
just
Jay
keep-
Will 75 though. What do we think about him?
I think Jay Will could go up a point or two.
I'm
I
fine
think
with that.
75 feels high.
I think he's a likely candidate to go down because
Me
his
too.
role is going to be decreased.
And like
Okay, that's
the
fair.
things he does, like they're not gonna bump him for taking charges or like he shot 40% from 3
Yeah.
last year. If he shoots,
He's going to
worse,
have
they're
less
gonna drop
minutes.
his
He's going to
rating.
have less
Less
points.
attempts. That's fair.
Let's go
Okay.
74. Here's an interesting one.
Trey Man.
I feel like
Guys,
a
I'm
lot of his rating is from his draft positioning.
I don't know
77.
where Trey Man minutes come this season.
I was in 77 because he's on a different team.
The pecking order ahead of him at the guard position, and I don't think Trey can really play up outside of the 1 or the 2. Shai, Josh, Dub, Dort, Mičić, Kaysen, Joe. I don't know where Trey Man gets minutes at. Like I really don't. He's gonna have to be insane in training camp. And credit to him, he had an awesome summer league.
Yep.
I don't know where the minutes come from.
Agreed. So if we're assuming that all these players are still on
might-
the roster,
Sorry, not to cut you off, Taylor. I might adjust. I don't know. This might sound crazy. As far as like having to get the roster down, Trey might be higher on my list, not as a cut guy, but as a trade guy, just because the franchise wants to do him right and get him to a spot where he can get minutes.
no. So that's exactly what I was going to say. Like I kind of joked about him going up because of being traded, but like or not being on this team. But I kind of think that's the scenario.
I love Trey, but I wonder if we
Imagine
get
him
to
in Charlotte.
October 10th and they say, hey, you're not going to get a lot of minutes here. We got so many other guys. You are going into year 3. You want to make a career out of this. You want that second contract. We think it's better for both parties if we find you a home where you can get more playing time and really showcase and earn your next contract. Like that would not
Agreed.
surprise me.
Agreed. So maybe we keep
I
this
hope it's
one
not Charlotte.
steady just because of that reason.
I say 74.
Okay,
I say keep it even.
Okay, we'll do that then. JRE,
I think this one's going down.
me too.
It's going
Tank.
down for real.
I think he's like a
dare you.
71 or a
Yeah.
72.
Whoa, 71.
That's what I was thinking. I think it tanks.
Not that he has like a horrible season. I just think what he's done to date doesn't deserve a 75.
and he's not going to
He's not gonna
play.
get time. Yep.
Give him a 72.
I mean, even if he does, like for trade, he goes to
Holy
another
shit,
team.
Nick, 721.
Oh,
It's like when the
What?
weatherman has like
Yes.
a typo and it's like Oklahoma City. It's not 101 degrees. It's 1,011 degrees.
what about Wiggins? He's at a 74 today.
I think he's going to play.
77.
Oh,
Something like
God,
that.
dang. 75. maybe.
Taylor, 77 would make him like the 5th best player on this team at the end
Fair
of the season.
point. 82.
I'd say
94.
Maybe give him a one bump,
I agree.
75.
I agree.
Yes, that sounds more
with
reasonable.
Depot Joe.
This
Yeah,
is the
that's
one
fair.
I want
How
to
about
talk
this
about,
one?
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Usman Jang.
Uzi.
I'll chime in here. I think if Trey Mann is entering the season at a 75, the minimum Jang should be is a 76 at end of season.
I was going to say 76.
79.
Whoa,
Ooh.
baby.
Boy.
I think he's
Higher
taking
than
a
Lou
hop.
Dort.
See, 70, like,
For reference, Jabari Smith Jr. is a 79 entering this game.
Well, that
so
changes my
he
opinion
won't
of
get it,
79.
but like that's kind of the leap we hope he takes.
79 for me. I think he's gonna be in the 8-man rotation.
8? Holy
Put it down,
baby.
baby.
Oh,
I
baby.
got some preseason bets cooking with
I was going to say we
Uzi.
have some really good bets.
Wow.
All of us are.
I think he's
Yeah.
going to be fantastic, but that's 8-man rotation's tough.
79. That would put him
Fourth? Fifth?
5th on the team.
That's
Jeez.
wild. You're wild.
I mean, we're going to be a 4th seed. home
You
court
guys
advantage.
You guys wanted what, 76? Oh, how about we meet in the
Let's do
middle at like
77.
77?
77 feels right. That feels right to me. Wendy.
71.
Yeah.
He's a two-way guy now. 2K probably didn't even know that yet.
You didn't even have
Yep.
Keontae Johnson on here, you son of a gun.
I do have a caveat note. Keontae Johnson is not yet in NBA 2K24.
Of course, Nick has an asterisk.
If you'll please refer to cell 22F.
But really.
Incredible.
But technically, Mitchich isn't either, but you found his rating.
But he's in the database. Keontae Johnson is like, he's actually in the database. There's a list of players not in the game, and he's on that list.
Nick really is my opposite. Like attention to detail, positive versus negative.
If Taylor had made this spreadsheet and you called that out, he'd have been like, oh.
Who's that?
Who's that?
You know what? Let's throw him in at like 83.
Who's that guy?
Kaysen Wallace is a 72. Where do you think he ends?
75, 76.
I was going to say 75.
I think 75 is fair.
So in there, yeah, with Kenny Hustle, Isaiah Joe, Depot, that's fair.
You guys ready for Davis Bertans? Getting that OKC bump, baby.
Yes,
Give him a
I'm
74.
I'm with it.
Sure, why
74.
not?
Move him
Because
up
this
2.
seems so low. Like we're all
if Jay Will is
shocked.
74, he should be a 74.
Especially
Yeah.
like, I mean, FIBA is FIBA, and we talked about that earlier, but still, I mean, I was a little shocked when I saw that rating.
Olivier Sarr, keep him at a 78 or 68.
I don't think Jack White will be. I don't even. Are you in the game if you're not even on a full-time contract? I don't know. We'll keep him at 67. All right. So to wrap up the segment, I'll let Jacob get us out of here. Based on our ratings,
Jack
This
White's
would-
number 1.
this would be the order in which, if a casual NBA fan bought the game, loaded it up, it's like, who are the Thunder's best players? This is the order that we are saying at the end of the season. Usman Jang sticks out at the 7th best.
I thought you were starting at the top of the list. I was like,
No,
Nick?
I'm saying who,
Me too.
who sticks out is Usman Jang sticks out as the 7th best. Trey Mann at 13th, Wiggins at 14th, Kaysen at 15th. Like, I know it's 2K ratings, but that would suggest these guys aren't playing,
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Yeah.
But also 2K.
which is why team building is
2K
way different than
sucks.
2K. Yeah.
Dort and Jang tied.
I don't like
Poku
2K.
and
Today's
Kendrick's
episode brought
tied.
to you by NBA 2K.
That's right. Hopefully, Blue Wire does not get sponsored by NBA 2K.
Looking back at it now, after we did our predictions, I wonder if we didn't bump J-Dub and Josh up enough.
I'll say this as a 2K player, having a starting lineup of 94, 86, 85, 84 is
That's a
like,
Dang good
Pretty
team.
solid.
that's deep. That's
Yep.
really good.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Nick, do you have the list of all the players in the league pulled up by chance?
I don't, but let me get it pulled up.
I'd be interested to
say.
know the names at like 89 and 88.
89 and 88, which is what's your reference point for that?
I'm just thinking we didn't put
It's where he wants
J-Dub,
J-Dub to
J-Dub
be.
and Josh up
okay.
enough.
89, 88. Here's the list of guys: Halliburton, Fox, Brunson, Murray, Ant Edwards, Jaylen Brown, Paul George, James Harden, Trae Young.
Those are all 89s and 88s?
Yep.
Okay, maybe we got them at the right spot then.
I'll say this.
Those guys are really good.
So
85,
Jacob Jokic
86s,
was
though.
one.
85, 86s would be Tyrese Maxey, Evan Mobley, Markkanen, Porzingis, Bridges, Towns, Klay Thompson, Chris Middleton, Julius Randle. Like that's the range that you guys have Dub and Giddey at the end of the season, which would be like essentially a top 50 player.
End of season, I think that's fair.
So top 50.
And then Jacob, you were asking like, is there a 99 overall in the game? Like pulling this up on 2K's website, Jokic is 98, the number 1,
or 98, yeah.
and then Giannis is 96, tied with LeBron, which is just absurd. Joel at 96, KD, and Steph at 96. Like look, it's running 2K. There's some favors being given. I mean, it is what it is.
Nick, will you give us the list of guys at 84? That's where we have Chet at.
84 would be Rudy Gobert, Brooke Lopez,
Victor Wembanyama,
85.
Nikola
85.
Vucevic, Nick Claxton.
Instant pump.
Cade.
I'm talking centers though. Centers at 84 are Rudy Gobert, Brooke Lopez, Nikola Vucevic, Nick Claxton.
And Victor.
That's so
according to
weird.
this.
Why is that so weird?
Nikola Vucevic and Nick Claxton in the same tier as Brooke Lopez?
Brooke Lopez is like 38.
That is good.
He's
Lopez, Vooch.
He's like, I think Nick Claxton is fine, but the dude is like incredibly limited offensively.
he's a
Like
like
and then
non-centers,
Vucevic is
Aaron
like the
Gordon.
exact opposite.
Gordon, Bain, CJ McCollum, DeJounte Murray, Paulo, Cade, and then like we talked about, Victor's there, Julius Randle, Chris Middleton, and Brandon Ingram.
Brandon
sorry,
Ingram
Brandon-
in 85
they're
overall
85s.
is a shame.
Julius is actually an 85.
Yeah.
I thought he was 84. Sorry. That is kind of wild. Interesting. Huh.
Okay, I kind of like where we have Chet then.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that Giddey and Scotty Barnes are right there at that 83 tier. I think that's fair. And maybe Giddey deserves the nod. Tyler Hero at 83 feels like a 2K bump. Like there's, I don't know.
How do you feel about RJ Barrett being the same rank as J-Dub?
I think that's fair after Dub's rookie season. And I think that we would hope that maybe he hits a nod this time next year.
Agreed.
I think at the end of the season, Dub is way ahead of
RJ.
Barrett. I coming out
So
of college thought he was going to be remarkable. That dude does not process the game near as highly as I thought he does.
No.
There were some bad FIBA moments. Bad.
Very.
bad.
but again,
He's-
we're talking 2K here, which is very different than like us actually ranking these
No,
players.
totally. I mean, it's.
I'm not comparing him to this player. I'm more the mindset that he plays with. And I don't watch Knicks basketball very much, but in FIBA, I got a lot of Darius Baisley vibes from RJ Barrett.
way better, but similar.
Yeah. I'm not
Processor.
comparing them as the player, but like RJ got the ball, and if he dribbled it twice, like you might as well start jogging back on defense.
Which, like,
Right.
coming out of college, he was like this jumbo point guard that can run the offense and is super smart and makes the right reads.
Yeah,
It's never
just-
translated.
I don't know
Yep.
if he ever really did though. I think he just like was better than everybody he played with in high school. But
He was
I
at
mean, that's
Duke. He was incredible
know.
with Zion. Like, he was really good.
but he wasn't really playing.
Maybe
with them at
Zion just
Duke.
does that for you.
Maybe. If he's
Healthy
healthy.
Zion. Gentlemen, we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. I think that's the show, right?
That's it.
I think that'll do, Pig.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into the Uncontested tonight. We appreciate you as we begin the countdown to preseason, 29 days away, which means we're, I don't know, what would you say, Nick? 20. If it's 29 days from preseason, it's 20 days from training camp?
I think
22 days from training camp?
I think training camp is the 27th of September, and then media days like the first couple days
First week of October. Yeah.
So
It's almost here.
it is.
It is almost here. Make sure to stick with the Uncontested on all of our social channels, YouTube, anywhere you follow your podcast. We've got you covered with all things Thunder and NBA. Got some announcements coming up as well with some stuff with the start of the season, which will be very exciting. So keep it tuned here. We appreciate all your support over these summer months. We'll be back with you Wednesday for a 9 p.m. Central Time live show here on YouTube. So sub to the YouTube channel or find it wherever you get your podcasts immediately after. And then next Sunday, we are back here 9 p.m. once again. So make your Sunday plans to join the Uncontested boys as the Degenerates get together to record another show. Have a great beginning of your week. If you are in Oklahoma, enjoy that cool weather. It's going to be incredible. We will chat with you guys in a few days. Until then, as always, Thunder up.